And we are live. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to a Sunday night chill stream from beautiful Bedford, Massachusetts. Brought to you by our new sponsors, Fig Newtons. They're not really the sponsors. Nobody's sponsoring me. That's just the snacks. Will Drive for snacks and Planters peanuts. Anyway, it's time for chill stream. And I actually got a job today. I didn't get any work yesterday. But fingers crossed, things improve for me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to flip the camera. So I realize I can do this midstream. Midstream, I can do this. Click on camera, and then go camera 2 facing back. And then you should be seeing, yes, there we go. Here we go. We're on our way to do some multi-state anti-Semitisms, some across the state line hate crimes, some homophobias, some racisms, some misogynies, some Islamophobias, all the usual stuff, all powered by Fig Newtons and Planters peanuts at the expense of the 1%. I just saw a young couple come off a plane, the tail of which is November 926 Echo Charlie. And the dude had a hat on that was like, I thought it was a Thanksgiving hat. It looked like a turkey or a roasted turkey upside down, but it was apparently a chicken hat. And the guy's like, oh, it's an Oktoberfest hat. And I'm like, dude, it ain't Oktoberfest yet. It's the weirdest fucking hat. And it was super sensitive. So I just, I Googled that tail, November 926 Echo Charlie. And the owner does not want the flights tracked. So I don't know who these two, they were like 20 something, 1%ers. They sure as fuck don't want to see me pulling up in my 2006 Toyota. Like, they know I'm way below their social class and that I mouthed off to them. That's good. That really, that stung them like a motherfucker. But whatever. I'm in a good mood. I'm in a relatively good mood because I got some work today. We're up here in Bedford, and we got to do a chill stream. It's Sunday. I did my Rumble stream yesterday or last night when I didn't have any work, but unfortunately, some of I caught some wind noise. I was down by the waterfront in Perth Amboy, New Jersey. It's a really beautiful summer night, and I just decided to go down there just for something to do, just for a different location. The wind noise kind of spoiled it a little bit, but whatever. I'm doing what I'm doing. I only have six subscribers there, but we got to it's all about making content. It's all about making the content. And that's what we do here. On the way up, shockingly, I hit traffic like the last 50 miles coming in here, or else I would have started this a little earlier. But I was searching around on the radio for some boomer rock to listen to as I drove, and I couldn't find any. And instead, I found it was like fucking NPR or something like that. It was an NPR podcast special that was like some real fucking communist fan fiction. I'm going to turn around. I'm going to show you the sign because I told you that. There's the Paul Revere capture site sign. So if you want to know where Paul Revere was captured, it was just on the other side of that arrow. Oops, the police car over there. Ooh, hiding in the dark. But anyway, let's see if he pulls me over. He's going to pull me over. I'm going to turn around and go back again. See that? See what I found. Let's see if I get captured. Paul Revere got captured there. Let's see if they capture me for making an illegal U-turn. But so far, he's not behind me. Now I got to turn around again to get the fuck out of here. But I think he's just Probably having a nap or some shit over there. I don't think that the tyrant class is quite as interested in the historical aspects of this area as some of us might be. I could have made a U-turn there, but I didn't. Oh, now I've really fucked it up. Now I've totally fucked this up. But yeah, anyway, so on the way in, I couldn't find any boomer rock, and I'm like, what the fuck? There's a traffic circle down here. I'll just whip around the circle, and we'll have a do-over. I was listening to maybe NPR or something like that, and they had a podcast that the title of which was Long Shadow, The Rise of the Far Right. And it was fucking wild communist fan fiction, like insane, mixing Alex Jones and fucking Donald Trump. And I'm not going the wrong way down the street, you stupid GPS. It's a new road. They just built it. Stupid GPS argues with me all the time. How dare you? Okay, here's the traffic circle. Anyway, they mixed Alex Jones, Donald Trump, the Proud Boys, the Oath Keepers, and they tied it all into Waco, Texas, the massacre at Waco back in the 90s. And they're saying that was the flashpoint for this far right, government. Oh, let's overthrow the government thing. And I was like, holy fucking shit. And normally I wouldn't listen to that kind of stuff because it's so offensive, to your sense of, to anybody who lived through that time who was remotely paying attention. They're just mixing fact with fiction in pretty wild ways. But one of the things they said, which I think is probably legit, was that when Donald Trump launched his 2024 presidential campaign, the official launch was from Waco, Texas, which, if that's true, and I suspect that it is, I don't think they would get that part wrong. That's fucking wild. That shows that, they really fucking plan this with all their stupid symbolic fucking places and times and all this shit. Would be absolutely wild. I got a lot of very anti-Trump stuff, so that'll be good because Trump is he's a scumbag and a shitcoiner, like I said, but he kind of made the news recently because he went to a bar. You know what? Let me just show the video. I'll just show the video, and with that, we'll talk about a little bit. It's a 44-second video.
We have some gifts for you.
Good. I want Bitcoin.
So Donald Trump made history this week, becoming the first US president to pay using the Bitcoin network at PubKey Bar in New York City. And while this might seem exciting on the surface, today I want to dive deep into the stench that lies underneath Trump's support for Bitcoin and crypto. And nowhere is the stench more pungent than in the dirty details of his newly launched crypto project, World Liberty Financial, which is linked to shady developers of a $2 million DeFi hack. Plus, I reveal why BlackRock is quietly preparing for a $35 trillion debt crisis with, you guessed it, Bitcoin. What's up, YouTube? Welcome to Pure Bitcoin Signal. I'm Hurley.
Okay, so that was the teaser for like a 10 or 12 minute video by Swan Bitcoin. So if you guys remember, I said that Trump's gonna fucking probably do like a real estate shitcoin, like you can buy his buildings or whatever, and he'll leave you end up holding the bag. What actually has happened is some previous shitcoiners have hooked up with the Trumps, and they have their own, electronic token that they call World Liberty Financial. And you can. That's how the Trumps. I guess they're going to keep the real estate empire separate, and Trump is like skating um, the edges of legality with this because he introduces it, then he says, "Well, let me turn this over to my sons, and my sons will tell you all about it." Apparently, there was a Twitter Spaces uh, call, and Trump was on it for the first 2 minutes, which of course was just to pull in the Trumps, pull in the suckers, and then his kids took over, and they're pitching some fucking garbage, whatever this fucking shitcoin is that that's like literally they've put on the website that they're gonna rug pull you, that they own 70% of it, they're only allowing the public to have 30% of it, and of course they bought it in advance, they pre-mined it, all this, all this stuff. When the guy in the intro says the stench that's underneath it, he's putting about as strong of a language as you can put on what this is, and we know what this is, right? We know that Trump's a shitcoiner and a scumbag, and he's going to take every fucking nickel he possibly can from everybody, but particularly his followers. But this NPR fucking podcast, Long Shadow, Rise of the Far Right, or whatever the fuck it was. I was surprised that they were putting it on now, but it's so fucking wild when you see this for the bullshit that it is. That these insane communist loons, retconning recent history, and and they know they'll get away with it. It doesn't matter. They can say whatever they want to say. It doesn't matter if this video, directly, literally, factually contradicting them. They'll tell you what to see, and the people who want to believe that Donald Trump is a fascist will believe it, and the people who want to believe that fascism is a threat. And I will remind you again that there is no fascist party anywhere, and there is no anywhere on earth, but there are communist parties in every country on earth. So fascism is as abject a failure as you could possibly get, but it's a great boogeyman to scare the fucking proletariat, into believing that, bougie fascists, like super rich fascists, are going to do whatever. I don't know what they think. They're going to stop drag queen story hour, which they're not going to stop that. I mean, if it's going to be stopped, it's going to be stopped by regular people. It's not going to be stopped by bourgeoisie fascists, which, like I said, fascism is the ultimate loser ideology, but it's the one that historically, is the biggest win for the communists, which are the shock troops of the central bankers. And so they want to do over. They want to rerun. They want to do that again, a million times, over and over and over. And Donald Trump is their willing puppet in this. They're allowing him and his family to rip people off doing this crypto thing, but the elites have sort of caught on to crypto as the fastest way to extract the most wealth from the bottom 99% without having to do hardly anything. It's not like you need to make a product or make a good product or make a good product cheaper or even make a shitty product and have people pretend that it's good. You literally don't even have to make a product anymore. And so the Trumps are involved with some shitcoiners who have a shady background of money going missing from their last project. And apparently they're using the same software code for the new Trump shitcoin that they were using for their old project. So, that's going to go well. But the other part of that intro from Swan was that BlackRock is preparing for an economic meltdown or some sort of economic crisis with Bitcoin, and that's true. They've been doing that for a while. There was stories that different parts of BlackRock are all buying into the Bitcoin ETF, and you might wonder why they would do that. But their other funds and their other ETFs, if the economy blows up, they only have one winner out of 575 funds. But if all 575 of the BlackRock funds buy into the Bitcoin ETF and Bitcoin goes to the moon, well, it makes BlackRock look like geniuses, look like they did, outperformed everyone else. And if nothing happens, then it's just cheap insurance. And after watching this fucking comedy mockumentary or podcast, and again, it's called Long Shadow. Yeah, Long Shadow, Rise of the Far Right. And I don't know how long it was, but I listened to about 25 minutes, the last 25 minutes of it. And it was fucking wild. Like, it's, they have dramatic music and they're doing different audio, multi-layered audio. They have the narrator narrating, and then there's, multi-layered audio in the background as he describes an event. You hear people in the background shouting, or they'll put in audio that they got from the FBI eavesdropping on the Oath Keepers or the Proud Boys or whatever. And so I'm listening to it and I'm going, I'm just amazed at the level of effort that they put into this fucking thing. And it absolutely would convince normies, or half convince normies, 100% lock in the left-wing fucking lunatics. And they're talking about the Capitol riot, because they talked about all the stuff leading up to it. Alex Jones, and blah, 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 blah. They didn't mention Nick Fuentes or that retired Marine guy that they caught on video saying you have to go in the Capitol. But they mentioned Alex Jones, and like I said, the Proud Boys and Oath Keepers, and they try to make out like it was an armed insurrection. They said the Oath Keepers stored all their rifles in a hotel room in Virginia, which means they did not bring the rifles into the Capitol. And then here's audio saying, you're not allowed to have a knife longer than 3 inches in Washington, D.C. And so he was instructing his men, not to carry knives longer than 3 inches into the Capitol. And I'm like, is that how you is that how you overthrow a country, with 2-inch knives? But absolutely ridiculous. And then they mentioned that someone had set up a gallows, right? A wooden gallows on January 6th outside the Capitol building. And I'm like, really? They brought hammers and nails and all that lumber, and these were the January 6th QAnon people. They built who built the gallows? Like, who does that? It's so ridiculous. To pull it apart, is beyond child's play, but it's probably worth listening to just to understand how slickly they have tied opposition to authoritarian overreach in America. They've tied that to being a terrorist, being an extremist, being a paranoid lunatic. It's really, really instructional. Really very, very important. And while we're here talking about governmental overreach and authoritarian overreach, they're always trying to keep you safe. I mean, this Long Shadows documentary purports to try and keep America's democracy, our democracy, safe from extremism. And every tyrant always uses, your best interest, your safety, as an excuse to destroy the Constitution. I got this great video. It's a 1-minute long video from the home city of Rebbe Duvid. But if this isn't the most fucking unconstitutional thing you've ever seen in your life, I don't know what tops this.
So people be asking if you can go around. I mean, you can go around in the street technically, but if you go around in the street, like if the police looking out for weapons and stuff, if you going around in the street, they gon' at least see it and try to approach you. So it makes sense. Like if you got somebody avoiding it and trying to go around, then they're gonna look at you and try to search you. You know, people say that's not a thing, but in Detroit it is because of like the crime rate and stuff like that. You know, so that's why they do the stop and frisk and check people for guns. You know, you might not see it anywhere else, but you will see it here for sure. He said, if it ain't a scat, I don't want that. It's crazy. Ooh, the police out here with the metal detectors. Y'all boys better not come down here tripping and trolling. Worst thing to do with a gun is bring them downtown where you know these detectors gonna be at. Look at the detectors, they got them downtown right now. So look.
Now, can you fucking believe that? Metal detectors on the sidewalks in the streets of Detroit. And if you walk around the metal detector, if you are unwilling to allow police agents to violate your Fourth Amendment right to privacy, then they're going to target you for further scrutiny. Can you fucking believe that? And all in the name of safety, right? Because don't bring a gun to downtown. To be perfectly honest, I think everyone in fucking Detroit who has a legal concealed carry permit should fucking go down there and walk through those things all the time. Like, and just file a giant lawsuit and sue the fuck out of Detroit. I know the city's broke, but sue them until they cannot afford a police force, right? Sue them in federal court for civil rights violations. That's fucking nuts. I mean, that's absolutely nuts. Either that or just hide regular metal objects on your body, like not guns or knives, just anything metal that's heavy that'll set up a metal detector. Just strap fucking, I don't know, wrenches or sets of pliers or something, you know, around your waist and walk through there. And when they try and stop you and check you, you know, you just resist them and have them arrest you for carrying, you know, pliers and fucking screwdrivers and wrenches on your body while you walk down the sidewalk in Detroit. I would do that. That's an easy fucking 5-figure, 6-figure lawsuit. Easy. So if you're looking to pad your income, that might be the way to go. That would be a way to go, I think, for a lot of people. So you're trying to make some money, head down to Detroit and get yourself some wrenches and some pliers and whatever. Strap them around your waist. Just put them in your pockets or whatever. Walk through those fucking metal detectors. When they try to stop you, right? Tell the cops, get your fucking hands off me. You're not searching me. And when they tackle you and put you in handcuffs, and they find out that all you have is a bunch of box wrenches and pliers, you end up with a federal lawsuit. You know, even if you don't go to jail, you don't. You know, even if they let you go, they violated your rights. You get it on video, and you get a payday. You know, make them pay. Make them pay. Make them pay. Because that is what's going to happen. What else? So what I got? I'm skipping around to a bunch of different things. Yeah, but the Trump shitcoin thing, and this is what I mentioned this one, not that one, this one. This is what I mentioned last week. The Securities and Exchange Commission regrets any confusion from dubbing crypto tokens as securities. So that means it's legal. The shitcoin casino is wide open. That Trump can issue a shitcoin. Anybody can issue a shitcoin. It's not really like a stock. It's not an investment prospectus. It's not an investment vehicle. Well, we're sorry. We thought you thought that, even though that's what they said for years. We're not going to enforce that. That's not our rule. And this allows Trump to do what he's doing, and a lot of other people who've been shitcoining and rug pulling people on all this stuff. This fits in with the Elon Musk and the beating the Dogecoin $258 billion rug pull. This all fits in with that. They can rip you off as much as they want on these fucking shitcoins, and it's 100% legal. And that has to be that way because they can't arrest all these people. They'd have to fucking arrest half of fucking Washington D.C. But in the meantime, some people slowly are getting the fact that there's only one thing, and that is Bitcoin, and that is that's where you need to be. This story is about Marathon Digital, and I've mentioned him a bunch of times before. Marathon Digital is the Bitcoin mining arm of Marathon Oil, right? Marathon Oil figured out they could reduce their carbon imprint and make themselves a greenhouse compliant oil company by taking the flare gas from the oil operations and burning it to make electricity and use that electricity to mine Bitcoin. However, the company that they formed, a separate company from Marathon Digital, from Marathon Oil, was always struggled. They fucked up in a bunch of different ways, but basically they're getting free energy to mine Bitcoin, and what the fuck, right? Well, the fact that the stock price for Marathon Digital never, I think, got past like $25, even while Bitcoin went from 15,000 to where are we at? We're like 63,000 about now. But Marathon is such a fuck up as a company. The stock price didn't reflect the increase in the value of the underlying asset. And finally, what they did was they just ended up buying a shitload of fucking Bitcoin and holding it on their balance sheet, which is the same MicroStrategy's done and done. And this is going to be the way everything goes. Everything's going to go this way. And some other old friends of ours. Where's our old friends? We have friends from where? Here we go. The nation state of Bhutan is about to join the chat again.
The pager bombs may not have been a supply chain hijack. Check this out. First of all, this
Kingdom of Bhutan now holds 13,000 Bitcoin from mining it. Yeah, they've been mining Bitcoin in Bhutan. And I love this picture here of the Buddha, right? How beautiful is that? But yeah, I mean, look, everybody's getting in on Bitcoin. Everybody. And now, President Bukele says El Salvador will no longer require external debt to finance its budget and has achieved financial independence. This is so huge. It's amazing what.
So there you go. The nation state of Bhutan has such a fucking head start on every other fucking country in terms of holding Bitcoin. That is mind-boggling. 13,000 Bitcoin, over 13,000 Bitcoin. It's fucking crazy. And El Salvador is now no longer needs a handout from the IMF. And things are really just getting started. And if you don't see this, and you don't, you shouldn't be here. You know what I mean? If you want to argue, go ahead and argue. But I don't have the screen shares. I got a couple. Do I? I got a couple. Here's. I passed it. Where is here? I'll use this one. JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon says it's calling for federal employees to return to the office. And I noticed the last couple of times I drove down to Manassas that there were buildings. They were like buildings that had fucking Raytheon logos on top of the building. And I thought Raytheon had like the whole fucking building, but apparently there's like 2 or 3 empty floors that you can lease. So even the defense contractors are going to work into these half-empty buildings down in Washington, D.C. or outside of Washington, D.C., where commercial real estate used to have 85, 90% occupancy, and that occupancy is down to like 50%. And the value of these buildings is about to go down, which means a lot of very rich people are about to lose money. So they made you leave the office for COVID, right? Which was just a seasonal flu. It wasn't. It was not the deadliest fucking pandemic in human history. And they thought they were so clever with that. And now they're telling you got to go back to work because they're paying for this office space, and they need to continue to pay for office space because if they don't, that building's mortgage goes into default, and then all the big banks go under, and nobody wants that. Nobody wants a crisis, a financial crisis like that. And I'm wondering, this I think ties into Trump and that podcast, if there's collapses worldwide, will they blame it on right-wing extremists and blah, 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 conspiracy people and anti-COVID, thus and such, and use that as an excuse to do the fact that they're not paying their fucking bills. And this is not just in America. This is everywhere, including our friends, our cousins across the pond.
To maintain a skyscraper like that or like that in the centre of London costs around $5 million per year, from staff maintenance costs, cleaning costs, running costs, electricity costs, etc. And that is one of the big reasons why many people are being asked back to the office, because cities like London just don't want to be hit with empty buildings. It's a huge cost, and if these huge buildings start to depreciate in asset value, it will severely hurt major cities. And that's one of the big reasons why many people are being asked back to the office. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and as always, follow for more London.
How could it possibly hurt a city to have less people clogging up the fucking public transit, right? It's not going to hurt the cities. It's going to hurt the millionaires and the billionaires who basically own those cities. But that's as true here in America as it is in London. So this commercial real estate thing, if it crashes, can they blame Trump supporters and QAnon and COVID? Who the fuck knows, Maybe they can. And if in the meantime, Bitcoin goes to the fucking moon, they'll be in a position where they can benefit from that. Certainly BlackRock will be. And, they will appear like the great saviors and the geniuses who can guide the future. But you got to see through it. You got to see past it, which is super hard for normies. Normies are never going to see fucking past it. Normies only all they ever do is believe the things that are put in front of them. That's the way it is. And our friends, by the way, and the reason why I say that is because of this. This story that the Bank of International Settlements, which is the Rothschilds, is developing some kind of network to swap shitcoins or CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, from Korea to Europe, from America to Colombia, from South Africa to Russia, whatever. They're going to have a network which will trade the digital yen for the digital ruble, for the digital euro, for whatever, and surprise, surprise, or unsurprisingly, the Rothschilds are setting up a system where they are the central authority which handles all this stuff, because there's, if currencies collapse, if the interest on the national debt gets, and I don't think we're really close to that. All this grumbling about BRICS is bullshit. But if the smarter people in 3 or 4 years see that things are not going well with the inflation monsters eating the dollar, they're going to shift their wealth into something else that can't be confiscated and can be transferred anywhere, and that's going to be Bitcoin. So it could be insane numbers on Bitcoin. What that's going to do for the nation of El Salvador and Bhutan would be really fucking interesting. But Bhutan, which is less than a fucking afterthought in the world, is all of a sudden it's going to have an entirely new place in world political affairs. It's fucking absolutely nuts. And if you think that that I'm overselling this, I'm really not. Saylor, who I get some criticisms of but I have to hold until next week because I haven't. There's a video of him saying some really stupid shit, and I gotta go cut it up and stuff and get a clip from it to show you what I'm talking about. But he just bought $1 billion worth of Bitcoin, and then he announced that his company was going to buy another $700 million worth of Bitcoin on top of the $1 billion they just bought. And so Wall Street said, hey, hold on there, buddy. Slow down, sailor. Just slow it down, palsy. You're getting ahead of yourself. What you're going to do is this. You're going to increase it to 1.1 billion. So they just bought $1 billion, and they're just going to buy another $1 billion. So the interest out there is really, really, really strong. And you should be doing everything you can to front run these people because they're looking out for themselves and not for you. And you need to look out for yourself and not for them. And understand that you're living in a time where human beings accepting permission slips, cuck bucks, slavery coupons for work, like I'm doing. I get paid in cuck bucks to do what I'm doing. But I don't have to save in cuck bucks. I could trade my cuck bucks, well, I still can, for something that is much, much more valuable. So just to continue down the road of shit that I said for a couple of months is still happening, is going to continue to happen. Story out of Texas, on-campus nuclear reactor approved for University of Texas. So the University of Texas is going to get its own. They're going to have these micro nuclear reactors, these super small nuclear reactors. But that's going to happen. And then this, if you lived through the 1980s, this was the biggest fucking deal. After those propaganda films called like The China Syndrome with Michael Douglas and Silkwood with what's her name? Who's the greatest actress? Not Glenn Close. I can't remember. The woman they said is the world's greatest actress. She's old now. I can't remember. It's not Glenn Close. It's something else. I can't remember. But yeah, there was these scare films, these Hollywood scare films that nuclear power is bad and we should shut it down and blah, 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 blah. And then there was a leak of steam from 3 Mile Island in Pennsylvania. And eventually the hysteria got so loud that they shut it down. They just shut it down. Well, guess what? They're reopening it. And what's it going to do? It's going to power a data center for Microsoft. So Amazon has a Pennsylvania nuclear power plant that they're going to use for their data, for their AI. And now Microsoft has got a different Pennsylvania nuclear power plant that they're going to use to power their AI. I'm just wondering when they're going to reopen Shoreham or Indian Point, because those two are definitely coming at some point in the future. But things are low. I thought they were going to look, or I've said that they look. And it's important, like I said, to understand how all this shit really works out. You know? And if you march forward, you know, or if you allow yourself to be dragged forward thinking that, you know, there's going to be some outrage or everyone's going to suddenly wake up and understand what to do and fix everything. That's never going to fucking happen. This thing is a massive fucking train wreck in slow motion. And, you know, for the communists in this country, they will see an invisible boogeyman called, called fascism. And for everyone else who's not an actual communist, although let's face it, a lot of people are gay communists these days, they're going to see, you know, that the foot soldiers of the central bankers are the bad guys. But nobody's going to have the solution. Nobody's going to have an answer. And that makes me think of our friend, not really our friend, that makes me think of Culture Thug. It's tough for me to watch the stuff he does now. It's these super long intros that are like 10, 12 minutes of like really bad heavy metal from bands you never heard of. But I guess that's part of the script. You know, the ADL is like, get some angry sounding music to hype up the white supremacists. But it can't be anything that's, you know, licensed to fucking Sony or Columbia Records. I don't even know if Columbia Records still exists. But anyway, so he's, you know, going with the black pill shit. Oh, you know, we have no plan, no future, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. There's going to be a future. There is a plan if you make one. If your plan is, I'm not going to hold onto this fucking this fiat slavery scheme. I'm just going to try and free myself. Every day I'm going to do a little something to free myself. And bit by bit over time, I will become less and less dependent. Maybe like El Salvador, I will not need other people to fund my budgeting. And that's what we're all looking forward to. Those of us with eyes to see that. But if you can't see that or you don't believe that's going to happen, then you know you might as well join in the fucking on the Antifa podcast or whatever, the communist fan fiction, and just roll with that and hope you live a life of enough material comfort that you ride it out. Like, you know what I mean? That you check out and die before the whole thing crashes, which is entirely possible. But, you know, I don't think there's a way to time this shit. And like I said, I don't think this is going to happen in the next 6 months. But I don't know, 5 years, 10 years, maybe less. And the sooner you start preparing, the more prepared you will be. You know, you'll get everything nailed down, or most things you need nailed down. And the worst of it will not fall on you. And that's realistically the most you can expect. Because it's very hard to determine exactly how badly shit's going to go, how far sideways things are going to go, and it depends on where you are and a lot of other circumstances. But it would be a lot better to have a lot more Bitcoin than dollars. That's true today. It will be even truer in the future. And you don't want BlackRock or the fucking nation state of Bhutan dictating to you what you can and can't do. And if you don't have any money for Bitcoin, get on a plane and fly to fucking Detroit and put some fucking go to like fucking Pep Boys or AutoZone and buy some cheap wrenches. Don't even go there. Just go to something like garage sale, you know, and get a whole bunch of fucking metal wrenches and tape them to your stomach and walk through that fucking metal detector. When the cops tell you to stop, tell them to go fuck themselves. And when they arrest you and find out you're just carrying wrenches, you know, and ratchets on your fucking tape to your fucking belly, you sue them. And when you get paid from the lawsuit, you use that lawsuit money to buy Bitcoin. You see how easy it is? Once you understand how all this works and how you can benefit from what they're doing, the future becomes much brighter. It becomes a joyful place where your actions daily or otherwise work to really take the power away from the tyrants and give it to someone else. And one of that someone else is you. Because the people that really run this fucking country are not Americans. And I got some video here. What is it? It's like 45 seconds. The guy with the glasses is a retired CIA guy. And the guy who looks like a Puerto Rican hippie is he's actually active duty CIA. He says he left. The Puerto Rican looking dude with the weird hair is named Andrew Bustamante. but the guy with the glasses, I can't remember what his name is. He was a spook like in the 90s. And this is one of those things where they just say the quiet part out loud. They accidentally tell a very, very, very big truth.
He said there were 189 undeclared Israeli intelligence officers that the FBI had been able to identify, spread all over America, trying to steal our defense secrets. So why don't we wrap those people up and expel them? Because they're Israeli. They're not Chinese, they're not Russian, they're not North Koreans or Cubans or whatever. They're Israeli. And the Israelis have such a hold on Capitol Hill that it's just not worth the disruption in relations, political or foreign affairs, to wrap those people up.
So how funny is that? Two spooks going, oh, by the way, there's the FBI says there's 200 Mossad agents. Listen to me. If the FBI says that there's 200 Mossad agents running around the United States that are undeclared, I guarantee you there are at least 2,000, because the FBI is a bunch of fucking shitheads. 189, whatever. I guarantee there's 1,800 of them, and they're doing a lot more than try to steal defense secrets. Why would they try to do that? They get everything they want anyway, plus $3.8 billion. Okay, whatever they're doing is they're silencing their critics, or suiciding some fucking Palestinian kid going to college studying political science, who's gonna fucking suicide himself by overdosing on some drug that the kid never took before. Who the fuck knows what they're doing? CIA bro is like, well, it's not worth the headache. It isn't that it's not worth the headache. You will lose your fucking career. You will lose everything if you dare go against them. You do not arrest your bosses. You do not kick your bosses out of the country. Okay? So, and, this is what, when I show stuff like, where's my screen share? Where is it? When I show this, no, not that. Yeah, when I show that, you think, hey, come back, Snakey. You would think, oh, you're being an extremist, but I'm not being an extremist. The CIA guy said literally, they cannot arrest the known undeclared Mossad agents running around the United States. The way to beat these guys is to take away their funding. Nobody does anything without a fucking paycheck in it. I'm not here on the fucking highway, driving past the fucking Paul Revere capture site and driving back to Jersey from fucking Massachusetts. I'm not doing this just because I like driving fucking cars. You know what I mean? I don't really like delivering boxes that much, but I need to do this in order to keep a fucking roof over my head. And all these spooks and scumbags, right? The only reason why they do what they do is because it's a great job. You don't actually do any fucking work. No heavy lifting, no fucking danger. Federal holidays, federal fucking medical, dental, everything, pension, everything that the rest of the country doesn't have, and you just, you fucking retire immediately and collect your pension 30 years fucking later. Basically, that's what they're doing, no matter what you think. But they wouldn't do it if there was no paycheck. That's the key thing. They would not do it if there's no fucking paycheck in it. They're not volunteers. They can't afford to spend 40 hours a week playing fucking secret squirrel and not paying their mortgage, right? Their wife ain't going to put up with that. They're going to have to go do something. So if there's no money for them to do what they do because the Federal Reserve note is no longer accepted as legal tender, that changes a lot. And you may think we're a long way from that, and we probably are. But every day you can take a step. Every dollar you turn into Bitcoin is a dollar that BlackRock doesn't get. Every dollar that you turn into Bitcoin is a dollar they can't fucking take from you, right? They can't seize it. They can't devalue it. I don't think I can overstress the importance of this as an act of defiance to openly to openly reject the economic system that allows these motherfuckers to essentially control the entire fucking world. You know, you want to do your part. You were born too late to explore the earth. You were born too soon to explore the stars, but you were born just in time to be in a traffic jam on Highway 95. No, you were born just in time to destroy central banking, you know. And we got comments. Virgil Doc, Purple Heart, welcome to the show, sir. You seem to be alone this evening, Virgil Doc. There are no federal employees apparently have shown up. But if they do show up, my expectation, because I pay their salary via taxes, is that they will smash up the like button. I know they like to subtract these. I think last week when I did the last stream, I was like, where was that one from? That was from Virginia, wasn't it? Yeah, I think it was from Virginia, that one. But I sort of rewatched part of it at a rest stop, and I'm trying to think. It was like the stream had, I don't know, like 19 views and 5 likes, and then when I got home, I checked it again, and the stream had 14 views and 3 likes. So they're gonna do that shit like forever, man. Absolutely forever. To be as petty as they can be. Although maybe that's done with software or something like that. Maybe they do it in a way they don't actually hit the button themselves, because it probably hurts their fingers. But yeah, things I suspect are about to kick off economically, and because Bitcoin's probably going to get a big pump in the next 10 to 12 days. No matter who wins the election, it isn't going to matter. That rate cut by the Federal Reserve, whether you paid attention or not, means they're going to start the money printer again. You know, you can't have assets going down in value. They have to go up, and all that commercial real estate, you're going to have to go back to the office. Although I don't know how the fuck they're going to do that. They're not paying people enough to do shit like that. And AI, like I said previously, the big impact on the economy for AI is all these white collar jobs are going to be eliminated. You know, white collar jobs are basically going to be fucking eliminated. And companies like Microsoft and Amazon and all these big publicly traded companies, all the money they save on salaries, they use that to pump their stock price. So the stock market will go up, even though there'll be armies and armies of fucking people who are unemployed, who don't have any real skills. There'll be middle managers and fucking people who return emails, you know, as a career, who currently think they're such geniuses relative to people like me, because they don't sit here stuck in traffic at 10:30 at night, you know, after delivering boxes to fucking Boston. You know, they think how smart they are, but once they're unemployed and they don't have what it takes to do shit like this, and they kick in with that UBI that they've been teasing and playing around with and testing, because you're going to need to have UBI, because these people are going to have no fucking income. We're going to move, you know, closer and closer to being super communists, and all those people who previously thought, hey, this is mine, I'm a super genius because I have a white collar job and a college degree, and I deserve everything. Once they lose all that they have, they're going to want to take everything that you have. And if what you have is a physical thing that can be taxed, or they can put a fucking lien against it in court, or it can be confiscated from you, you're going to find out you don't have it anymore, because there's going to be an army of people who are going to look to make you as unhappy as they are. So the way to protect yourself is to make sure the things in your life that are valuable are very, very, very hard to confiscate, steal, tax away. That if you're not thinking that way, then I'm not sure how it can help you, because who realistically foresees that things are magically going to get better? They're not going to get better. I don't know. Here's our boy again who figured it out, 4 years ago.
I find it absolutely hilarious when people are like, Trump versus Biden or this person versus. I'm like, it doesn't matter. Yeah. They're not the people who make the decisions anyways. Yeah. It's the people who control the money. Yeah. And the people who control the money are the central banks. Yeah. And guess who owns the central banks? Because it's not the government.
It's not the government. The government exists to keep the people who print the money on top. And if you would like to change that peacefully and legally, you have to stop using their money. You can't stop using their money. Listen, I'm going to go to my favorite truck stop. I'm going to buy some chicken tendies. I'm going to put them in the shape of a swastika, and and then I'm going to whatever. I'm going to do a Hitler salute and eat them. I can actually switch my camera now. What happens if I switch my camera? Because we're creeping so slow. Let's do this. Let's try the James cam. What does it look like? Oh yeah, look at this. Red alert. There's a truck behind me with lights so fucking bright that you would think somebody was shining a fucking laser into this fucking car. But yeah, this is the life of an extreme radical. This is the life of a radical. I have to sit here and do this in order to keep a roof over my fucking head while I deliver aircraft parts to fucking super dorks. I started the stream. I mentioned there's a plane with the tail November 926 Echo Charlie that I saw at the airport, and a young couple came off the plane, and this guy had this fucking hat that was like it was like a roasted chicken. Think of a roasted chicken with the chicken leg sticking up, and and I'm like, I thought it was like a Thanksgiving thing because we're like relatively close to Thanksgiving. We're only we're still 2 months away, arguably, but I was like, is that a turkey hat? He's like, oh, it's a chicken hat or something like that. It's from Oktoberfest. And I'm like, Oktoberfest? What the fuck? It's not even October yet. But these were a young couple. I don't know if they were brother and sister, if they were a couple. I'm not sure. It's tough to tell at their level, like what the relationship is. But I think there might have been a couple, because she kind of rushed to his defense, and someone like me, opening my mouth, and I'm like, hey, what's with that hat? Because where I parked, there was an Uber right in front of a big black SUV, livery vehicle that was going to take them where it was going to take them. And people from my social class don't bark at people at their social class. Like that's a fucking total outrage. That's like you driving past a farm and like a cow or a pig giving you the finger. Like you're like, what the hell just happened? So but whatever. I'm in a cheeky mood. Things are going as well as they can go, I guess. Even though yesterday no work, but today we got work. What are we doing? 6 miles an hour. You got to remember, me doing these streams is about, reminding you every week that you could be doing something to reduce the power of the tyrants that are literally fucking crushing humanity, right? You can do it peacefully and legally, and you can record your victories. If you have this much Bitcoin, it's a little victory. If you have that much Bitcoin, it's a larger victory, and on and on and on. Instead of these dopey fucking white supremacy streams by fucking Cultured Thug and whoever else is still fucking out there wasting your time and telling you that life is fucking pointless. I'm telling you, not only can we win, but we are winning. And that's, when I show you stuff like this every week, this is us winning. Does it matter that, the CIA knows that they're powerless? No, it doesn't matter, because they'll fucking be replaced anyway. But knowing that, where is it? What do I got? Knowing that what the shape of the future is going to be is to put you in a better position to either take advantage of it, and you're going to have to do some taking advantage of, or at least get out of the way of the most negative effects. The things that you can control, you should control. And when these dopes do whatever they're going to do, like, and I'll just repeat this because I don't know who was here earlier in the stream, and you might not, but a brief recap. There's a documentary or some kind of podcast called Long Shadow, The Rise of the Far Right in America, which I was listening to on the way up to Bedford. And because I was just looking for some boomer rock, couldn't find it. And I stumbled across this. I don't know if it was NPR, I don't know whoever was doing this, but super slick, super professionally produced, long form propaganda story about how Waco, Texas has sparked the fucking January 6th uprising. And they threw everybody in there, Alex Jones and a bunch of other fucking people, and Donald Trump. And the thing that they said that was super interesting to me, which, I don't know, what was interesting was they said that, because they tied it all back to Waco, Texas, and the massacre at Waco back in the 90s. They said when Donald Trump officially launched his 2024 campaign, he did it from Waco, Texas. And I don't know if that, it said in March 2023, when they relaunched the campaign, Trump chose Waco, Texas as the official, coming out party or whatever announcement with the cameras on him. And he said, oh, there's so many people that have been abused and abandoned, and we're going to fix that, and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, man, the people writing the fucking script for this are really, really doing a hell of a fucking job, because that's a kind of a signal to the what they perceive to be the extremist element in America, that you once Trump gets back in, you'll be able to do whatever it is they think you're going to do, even though they're having a very tough time getting people to do illegal shit. The documentary, was really stringing together all kinds of stuff. It's probably worth checking out if you can stand it, just to hear how they weave together this fucking narrative. The school shootings, these mass shooter guys, Alex Jones, the Proud Boys, the Oath Keepers, all of that stuff. They mix it all together, into one big, dangerous, scary, fascist stew. And obviously it's super fear porn for the left, but they put these things together in a slick fashion, and I guarantee they'll get a fair amount of normies to believe it as well. Finally, we're moving a little bit here. We're moving a wee bit. We're about 15 miles out from the chicken tendies, which is pretty exciting news. I don't know if you want to join me at home, if you have some chicken tendies in your freezer and you want to pop them in the microwave, because that way it could be a virtual feast of right-wing anti-Semitic extremism over heavily processed fried chicken products. And make sure, by the way, that you don't just you don't burn your mouth when you take the stuff out of when you take the stuff out of the microwave, but two, you make sure to put your chicken tendies in the form of a swastika before you eat them, because that's how right? If you think QAnon was good, we should come up with a name for this. Shit, I don't know. I can't think of stuff and talk at the same time. I can do sort of one or the other. But we'll do that again. We'll make it the ritual. If on Sunday, coming from Bedford, we can get together and do an online multi-state fascism, a super right-wing anti-Semitism, racism, misogyny, double plus ungood, wrong think act, live on video, which will be shown at my trial after they actually burn the Constitution and put people like me on trial. Well, at least you could remember, you look back, and see that, for a brief moment we were all together. We were all together as one. No, we weren't. Things are going so badly for them that where's this fucking guy? I don't normally follow the shitcoiner shit stuff because it's worthless. But there's a dude, I've mentioned him before. He's this skinny Russian kid. I've shown his video. His name is Vitalik Buterin, and he, if physiognomy matters, you take a look at this kid and tell me if you would trust the fucking change in your sofa cushions to this fucking guy. Things are not going well for the Ethereum folks, the second largest cryptocurrency in the world. This is the guy who invented it on stage, mumbling part of a song that's not even about Ethereum, but it's about Bitcoin. And this just happened like last week. This is the state of shitcoining. This is like the king of shitcoins.
And its properties are far better than all the rest of them. It's mathematical. No more double spend. It's encryptable. Put your cash in your brain or it's bearable. A new form of wealth begins.
That's part of a song called "Love You Like a Bitcoin," which was recorded in 2016, and it's a spoof, or it's a takeoff on "Love You Like a Love Song," which was a song by that young Mexican singer Selena. I've actually played that on this channel years back. People don't like it, but yeah. So I don't know why Vitalik Buterin is singing a corny Bitcoin song from 2016 when he's supposed to be the king of the fucking Ethereum network, who routinely is in touch with central bankers. So they call them all the time. And yeah, that's that's how fucking bad things are. That the shitcoin international settlements. Where is it? Where is this one? Anybody that thinks that the Bank of International Settlements is going to have a network where it can figure out what central bank digital currency is worth blank versus against the US dollar. I don't know what a disaster this fucking thing is going to be, but it's essentially like the SWIFT network for CBDCs, and they claim that they're almost ready with it. And I guarantee you they're not. And I guarantee you this thing's going to be a fuck up on levels, a massive fucking screw up. I guarantee you it will be a massive fucking screw up. And that's what, if that goes live and it fucks up as badly as I think it fucks up, and the dollar can't plug that hole, maybe that's what brings the dollar down. Maybe that's what breaks the faith in the dollar. And then, then what? I don't know. Then, Bitcoin goes to fucking a gazillion fucking dollars. But I will, since I still I got to fill some time here. I got to do some filler. Earlier I said Michael Saylor had said some really stupid shit in some fucking interview. And listen, the guy does a ton of, when he's right, you have to admit that he's right. He's a very smart guy. He sees a lot of things. He's failed to see other things. He said that Ethereum and the shitcoins would all be declared investment contracts and be made illegal, and the SEC says no, that's not going to happen. So he got that wrong. He gets shit wrong. We all get stuff wrong. It's selective attention. You're going to have some things right and some things wrong. But this guy's a rock star, you know? He's like the fucking rock star of rock stars in Bitcoin, and everybody just fucking licks his boots. He did a fucking interview where he said he wants to see a world where if you have 1,000 Bitcoins and each Bitcoin is worth $1 million, that you loan those 1,000 Bitcoins to a bank, and the bank pays you 5% interest or 5 base. What do you say? Yeah, like 5 basis points. Then you just put up the Bitcoin, and then the bank loans that out and secures your Bitcoin, and somebody else has to do the work and and you just get the interest. And I'm like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? Like, what do you like? You're fucking Michael Saylor. He has publicly said that when he first bought Bitcoin, he bought $175 million worth of Bitcoin. That's when Bitcoin was $9,000 each. This is from his own personal account. So he already has like 1,800 Bitcoins. So what the fuck is he even talking about? But he says, wouldn't it be great if you had 1,000 Bitcoins, you give it to a bank, and then the bank pays you $50 million a year, you know, while your Bitcoin grows more valuable, and you get $50 million a year for doing nothing. And I'm like, when he said that, I'm like, this is how you know that extreme wealth or great wealth really fucking just corrodes your fucking mind. He already has more money than he can ever spend. He probably has, you know, he'll probably be the world's first fucking trillionaire in the next 5 to 10 years. And he's still thinking, you know, I want free money. This is how fucked up he gets. And he cannot imagine a world where, you know, Bitcoin is actual money. He's not radical enough. I've said it before, you know, he's an upper middle class guy, graduate of MIT, son of an Air Force family, Air Force brat, traveled the world. You know, if you were just an Air Force bro who got a degree from MIT, you'd be upper middle class anyway. And, you know, that's a very comfortable place to be in America. But, you know, due to happy circumstances on his part, he became a billionaire. And he's been a billionaire for decades now. And it's tough to see the world as being as fucked up as it is when you're in the billionaire class. You know, a billionaire doesn't see a lot of problems because he doesn't want to. And, you know, he doesn't imagine a world where there's no US dollar. And people like me do imagine a world where there's no US dollar. Yes, there will still be Michael Saylors who have giant, you know, enormous outsized amounts of Bitcoin. But if the US dollar is no longer legal currency or nobody will accept it anymore because it's worthless, well, you know, how's Michael Saylor going to get his pool cleaned? How's he going to get his grass cut? Who's going to take care of his mansion and his beach house in Florida and, you know, his personal chef and all that? If they're not working for dollars, what are they going to be working for? They're going to be working for Bitcoin. So he's going to have to part with that shit anyway. It's something he doesn't want to do because, you know, all of these guys, they're extreme wealth and I think extreme poverty just fucking warp your character. And it certainly happened to him. Even though, like I said, I like the guy. He's a smart guy. He gets a lot of things right, but he gets other things ridiculously fucking wrong. And he just can't help himself, you know, to think that, you know, he wants something for nothing. And that is the world of something for nothing, right? Which is the world of fiat currency, is the fucked up world that we see. And, you know, where stuff like what happens, where stuff like this happens and nobody even says a fucking word.
The pager bombs may not have been a supply chain hijack. Check this out. First of all, despite several reports showing 3 different brands, so far everything is narrowing in on the Apollos. Previously, it was thought that they were intercepted during shipping and modified, but that may not be the case based on new evidence. So Apollo just licenses their name out in many cases. So they licensed out their name to a firm called BAC Consulting in Hungary to make these pagers. It was completely up to BAC in Hungary to market and sell these. But now Apollo says they had some strange issues with this company. This company was formed in Hungary in 2022, but Apollo received their money through the Middle East. They said there had been some strange transfers, but they didn't go into detail. The registered address for BAC Consulting in Hungary is just a nondescript simple building in a Budapest suburb. As well as BAC, 13 other companies are registered to the same building. And after an investigation, there are very few connections to any of these companies by anyone. The number for BAC is not answering. So while it could still be a supply chain hijack, it's looking more and more like this was a, fake-ish type company set up by you-know-who, and was possibly manufactured with the explosives directly in the pagers at the so-called factory.
So yeah, you probably figured that out already. We know that this was planned long in advance. This is an act of state-sponsored terrorism. And how are you going to stop it? What are you going to do to stop it? You want nobody even mentions it. You have this guy, and other people have mentioned it, but you're not going to form any outrage. There's going to be no laws passed against this because these people run the fucking world. These fucking people run the fucking world, And this quote is as true for us as it is for them, right? Give me control of a nation's money, and I care not who makes its laws. If we take away control of the money from those people, the world changes really, really fast. Like really fast.
1.25 miles.
And a lot of really bad shit is going to stop and never come back. There will come a day where history will look back at us, right? There will be a time, people in another time will look back at us and think, what did you do? What did you do when they were handing out slavery coupons for your goods and services and doing all these horrible fucking acts? What did you do to fucking resist? What did you do to bring human freedom closer? Did you do anything really? Or did you wrap yourself in the fucking flag and just fucking drop bombs on brown people to protect perceived fucking American national interest or whatever, which don't fucking exist? What did you do? Did you do something or you didn't do anything? I'd like to think, maybe it's just my own ego flattering itself, but I'd like to think that I did something to speed up the day when these motherfuckers no longer have the power to do any of this, right? When our tax dollars or the value Americans create does not get fucking sent
Turn left at the stop sign.
to foreign countries ever. You know what I mean? I don't like the parasites. In my mind, there's two kinds of people. There's parasites and there's productive people. So the quicker we can end the fucking parasites peacefully and legally, that is peacefully and legally, ladies and gentlemen, the better off everyone's going to be. So if you want a great big noble mission, let's free fucking humanity from debt slavery, all right? And then let's see what happens afterwards. Does that happen in my lifetime? I don't know.
On the right.
I don't know. I'm going to try and live as long and healthy a life as I can while eating really high calorie, high cholesterol foods. I'm going to try to do that. Try to do that balancing act. But we're going to have to, in the meantime, whatever amount of time I actually have to do shit, I'm going to try and do shit. So stand by. I got to go, we got to go put fuel in the car. Do I have something to put on? Like some kind of, I need a musical interlude. That's what I need. I need a musical interlude on a loop. What could I do? Oh, I don't know. What could I do? I don't know. Here. Oh, we'll do this. I'll tell you what. Let's loop. Click loop, and then we'll do this. This will wake the feds up. Oh, sorry about that. That was kind of longer than I thought it should have been. Had to go inside and chat with the dude. We have terrible news. We have fascism. We have fascism delayed because they did not have. Brace yourselves, children. Don't I hope you're sitting down when you hear this news. They did not have chicken tendies, so we had to make an alternate choice, which is a bit more. I don't know. It's still chicken, but it's chicken wings. So we got to have something else. We have to have. You can't really. I don't know if you can put chicken wings in the shape of a swastika, but they're like Luftwaffe. We could call them Luftwaffe wings, maybe, and that would make the feds go out of their minds. That would make the feds go out of their fucking minds. I just want to do this. I want this. It's fun to do this for me because what if I turn this down like that? See? Where? There we go. I don't know. Can't really make it look like Hitler wings, but you could call them Hitler wings if you wanted to. If you wanted to, but that's gonna be the right wing extremist meal along with where's this? Got mashed potatoes because they're white. And if you're gonna do culinary white supremacy and multi-state anti-Semitism, including broadcasting that horrible, hateful punk rock song. No, now we got 3 viewers. Now this definitely almost 100% certain there's a Fed watching now. But yeah, we're at look at this, an hour and a half of multi-state anti-Semitism and Bitcoin maximalism. And reminding you kids that we're going to win, be in a good mood, trade your cuck bucks, trade your slavery coupons for something that they can't steal from you and they can't inflate away from you and they cannot, they don't control and they can't stop. That's the best thing you can do with your entire fucking life. If there's something better, I don't know what it is, and for the people that go, oh, gold coins, this and that. Listen, there's no place on planet Earth where somebody's trading fucking gold coins for food or housing or whatever. We're not going backwards, right? Technology does not go backwards. You're gonna remember to move the mirror and not touch the phone. The world going forward is going to be a lot of rough patches, we know, but you'll be in a better position to help yourself and the people you care about if you ditch the cuck bucks and embrace a rule set that is inhuman, right? The Bitcoin software is inhuman. It can't be bribed, can't be scared. It can't be bribed, it can't be scared. It's the Terminator. It's the real Terminator that the Jews fear, because it's the real thing that takes away their power. Without the power to print of the money printer, they have fucking nothing. Nothing. Oh, that sign in the back says no overnight. I'm not going to be here overnight. I'm just going to be here to do another few more anti-Semitisms, maybe a homophobia or something, and then I'll be on my way. You know what I mean? What makes you think I'm going to park here overnight? You crazy fucking signs. Actually, but it's weird to say it's a truck stop. Why can't you park overnight? You can't park overnight here. I think there's another parking lot where you can. I, of course, am not. I'm not spending the night on the side of the road. This is, you want to look it up on Google Earth. I think it's 400 Sturbridge Road in, I don't know what fucking town, Massachusetts. I don't know. I have Hitler wings, I don't know if they're really, I don't know if does it connect. Does it? I don't think that really looks like Hitler or fascism. But, fascism, fried chicken on Sunday night, hopefully you are doing some sort of right-wing extremist culinary stuff and and looking forward to the future, because we're going to fucking win. I mean, we're really going to fucking win. Although it might not look like it now. step by step, step by step by step. Rome was not built in a day. Anyway, with that, it's 1 hour, 32 minutes. Virgil, Doc, Purple Heart, and whoever else is lurking in the background. Thanks for stopping by. If you're a Fed, fuck you. Fuck you, you fucking Fed. And anyway, I will talk to you guys again next week.